Tehran fired 19 at the U.S. Al Udeid Air Base. One hit but caused no casualties. In Jerusalem, Joe Fetterman reports Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel's very close to realizing its goals, neutralizing Iran's nuclear program and destroying its capability to fire long-range missiles at Israel. But he's also sending some mixed messages.
It also has begun striking targets that appear to be beyond the scope of those initial goals. That includes a strike on a notorious prison and Iran's secret police headquarters. This is raising questions as to whether Israel might be trying to topple the Iranian government, especially after President Trump has begun talking about the idea of regime change.
Meantime, David McHugh reports there's concern Iran might close the Strait of Hormuz in retaliation for the U.S. strikes over the weekend.
The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most important choke point for shipments of oil. It's a narrow sea passage at the end of the Persian Gulf between Iran and Oman, and it carries a lot of oil from the Gulf producers, mostly to Asia. And if it were blocked, analysts say that the price of oil might skyrocket from around $78 a barrel now to a potential $120 or $130 a barrel, which would lead to inflation around the world.
The price of benchmark U.S. crude actually dropped more than 7% today, closing at $68.51 a barrel. And stocks rallied, the Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq all gaining nearly 1%. In other news, Russian drones and missiles killed at least 14 civilians in Ukraine, 9 deaths reported in the capital, Kyiv. A new report finds the number of abortions in the U.S. rose last year as more women obtained pills through telehealth. And a search continues for a missing person in Lake Tahoe. This after 7 others were killed when a boat capsized over the weekend during a thunderstorm that whipped up high waves. This is AP News. Summer's here, and so's the heat.
Squared right over the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast region.
Meteorologist Brian Hurley of the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center.
Temperatures by Tuesday probably going to be exceeding 100 degrees over the major cities. From D.C., Baltimore, Philly, up to New York.
Hurley says relief should come by the end of the week.
By the time we get to Friday and Saturday, we're going to be looking at highs generally in the 70s and maybe even upper 60s across parts of New England.
I'm Donna Warder.
Advice from Dr. Laura Myers at Kaiser Permanente.
It's important to be thinking about hydration status, so how much fluids you're taking in, making sure that you're urinating as much as normal, and thinking about access to fans.
I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Qatari forces intercepting Iranian missiles. Qatar says Tehran fired 19 at the U.S. Al Udeid air base. One hit but caused no casualties. In Jerusalem, Joe Fetterman reports Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel's very close to realizing its goals, neutralizing Iran's nuclear program and destroying its capability to fire long-range missiles at Israel. But he's also sending some mixed messages.
It also has begun striking targets that appear to be beyond the scope of those initial goals. That includes a strike on a notorious prison and Iran's secret police headquarters. This is raising questions as to whether Israel might be trying to topple the Iranian government, especially after President Trump has begun talking about the idea of regime change.
Meantime, David McHugh reports there's concern Iran might close the Strait of Hormuz in retaliation for the U.S. strikes over the weekend.
The Strait of Hormuz is the world's most important choke point for shipments of oil. It's a narrow sea passage at the end of the Persian Gulf between Iran and Oman, and it carries a lot of oil from the Gulf producers, mostly to Asia. And if it were blocked, analysts say that the price of oil might skyrocket from around $78 a barrel now to a potential $120 or $130 a barrel, which would lead to inflation around the world.
The price of benchmark U.S. crude actually dropped more than 7% today, closing at $68.51 a barrel. And stocks rallied, the Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ all gaining nearly 1%. In other news, Russian drones and missiles killed at least 14 civilians in Ukraine, 9 deaths reported in the capital, Kyiv. A new report finds the number of abortions in the U.S. rose last year as more women obtained pills through telehealth. And a search continues for a missing person in Lake Tahoe, this after 7 others were killed when a boat capsized over the weekend during a thunderstorm that whipped up high waves. This is AP News. Summer's here, and so's the heat.
Squared right over the Mid-Atlantic into Northeast region.
Meteorologist Brian Hurley of the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center.
Temperatures by Tuesday probably going to be exceeding 100 degrees over the major cities. From D.C., Baltimore, Philly, up to New York.
Hurley says relief should come by the end of the week.
By the time we get to Friday and Saturday, we're going to be looking at highs generally in the 70s and maybe even upper 60s across parts of New England.
I'm Donna Warder.
Advice from Dr. Laura Myers at Kaiser Permanente.
It's important to be thinking about hydration status, so how much fluids you're taking in, making sure that you're urinating as much as normal, and thinking about access to fans.
I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It's a brand new day in the Marianas. Coffee's hot and we're full of promise. So say it on the genie and feel the glow. We've got the stories you want to know. Sway, the traffic's light, sunrise news, we're feeling right. Tune in now, don't miss your chance. Start your day with Island Dance. And good morning.
Good morning, Marianas. Holy cow.
Good morning, Marianas.
It is Tuesday. And holy cow, you're watching watching the very first edition of the show where we're rocking this on 3 different channels at the same time. Can you believe it? I know. We're listening to our theme song over here on the YouTube channel and on Facebook, but right now the guys on Instagram are just hearing completely just me. Nothing exciting in the background. Nothing exciting in the foreground either. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It is Good Morning Marianas, and we are just getting started here on a Tuesday morning, 7:51 in the morning. You're all caught up already with the Associated Press. We give you that every hour and let you know what's happening in the United States and all around the world. And boy, I'll tell you what, there's a whole lot going on all around the world right now. But right now in Saipan, we're more focused on, what's the weather like outside? Hey, it is 83 degrees outside. Humidity's at 82% up here at the Saipan International Airport. Looking at partly sunny skies today with a high near 88. Winds around 9 miles per hour coming out of the east. Tonight, though, we're looking at some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Ooh, I know. But mostly cloudy skies with a low around 77 tonight, so it's not going to be too cold at all. But last night was pretty nice. It cooled off just nicely. I mean, like it was, I didn't need the air conditioning, but we used it anyway. I know. I should be trying to chill with my CUC bill. Instead, I want to chill with cold air. Anyway, we're looking at a low around 77 tonight. That light wind is going to get calmer and calmer as the night goes on, but so does the chance for rain increase. We're looking at a 40% chance of rain tonight. Tomorrow, though, we're looking at a 40% chance of rain for sure, and 50% on Wednesday night. And Thursday gets up to 60%. Holy cow. Oh, wait. Can't get worse than that, right? No, Friday, 70%. It is just going to continue to build. We're looking at more and more chances of rain as the week goes on. It's still June, but we are getting closer to rainy season. And we know we had that big storm update that we got from the folks from Joint Typhoon Warning Center, letting us know about what's been going on over there with that storm, that development of a tropical depression just past and north of Poggen. No damage. Nobody has to worry about anything up there. But we do know that it's going to be a little janky up there if you're going to be on a boat. I want to say good morning to all you guys. Peeling Gazette watching out of Guam. Good morning, my friend, my brother. Great to see you. Luisa Cabrera in the house. Got to see her in person last night. Holy cow. At the big send-off for all the athletes who are going to the mini games in Palau, and for the Little League teams who are going off to South Korea. South Korea is the best Korea. True story. Also, Tobat Castro, the former tint man from Dan Dan, who's making a plan with his fam over there. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, my man. Mariano Iglesias, the guy who's getting it done with a great team over at OPD. Thank you for tuning in. And Luisa's like, bro, last night, I didn't even know it was going to be what it was. It was a dang ceremony. Yes, it was a total ceremony. They did everything last night except for fireworks inside the added gym. It was a big deal, and it was a lot of fun, and we were able to bring it to you, and I'm really glad that we did. We brought it to you live last night, and man, what an event it was. You know, you got the friends, you got the families, you got the athletes, you got the corporate supporters, you got the government supporters, you got everybody out there, just general lovers of sport at the added gym last night. It was a big event for sure. DPL is in the house. That's right. Get yourself a public land plot right here on DPL. No, they're not taking it here. You got to deal with that stuff with those guys. But I'll tell you what. If you want to get a spot for the parade, remember, DPL is not the place. It is Public Works this year. So reach out to the Department of Public Works, and so you can secure your spot. Remember, the parade route is different this year. You can see they built pretty much a brand new stage from scratch. The good folks over at Department of Corrections getting it done under the watchful eye and leadership of Anthony Torres, the commissioner for corrections. Is he not the best corrections commissioner? Man, I'll tell you what, this guy has been getting it done since he took office, and it's great to see him out there just really actively trying to not just have people do their time, but get them rehabilitated. So that, and get certifications, so that by the time that they're done doing their time at the corrections, they're able to get back. So it's great. Oh, Keanu says he went to Guam for soccer. Shoots, man. I hope it was great. Were you part of that combined team that went out? I know we had folks from Laddie Football Club that were there, Shirley's Football Club, Pyrie Football Club. There were a whole lot of folks who were out there, and I got to see a few of them briefly while I was out there for the Little League, for the seniors that were out there. But I didn't get to see all the soccer stuff because I had to come back home for Father's Day. Anyway, getting back to it, it was an awesome send-off. It was incredible. Dennis Matsumoto, good morning. Thank you, my fellow veteran, my partner in crime, my right-hand man with all things for vets out here in the CNMI. Joshua Brazel. Man, I'm telling you, dude, I got to message you. We got to get together because one of the checklists for the kids and the whole family for us, their summer checklist, while we have the kids over the summer where there's no school, is to do some stargazing. So we got to find out when you're going to be doing it. I'm guessing with all these clouds that are coming in, it's not going to be anytime soon with you. So we'll have to find out when we can make that happen. But with all the stuff that you've got, we'll have to, we'll try to get you in there. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll tell you what, Care Bear, the YouTube feed is a little bit slower for sure, but we have a plan for that. We do. And I'll tell you all about it. Paul Guerrero and the folks over at IT&E trying to give us even faster speeds and more processing power. That's going to be pretty neat. Yeah, don't forget, thank you, Tobot, and my constant reminder over there. He's doing this all remotely, saying, hey, don't forget to like and prescribe, as he puts it. I love it. Go ahead and give us a follow here on Facebook. Follow the NMI News Service, and that way you're tapped in every time that we go live for an event. And we're going to be going live all the time, not just for the shows that we've got in the morning, but we've got big stuff coming up tomorrow, and we'll be at the Crown Plaza bringing you the live update. If you're not able to make it to Crown Plaza for the town hall, for the community meeting for the CJMT Draft EIS. That's a whole lot of letters. What is that? That's the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands Joint Training, something like that. But it's the training that's going to be going on in Tinian. We're going to hear all about it, about the environmental impact statement that they've got drafted that'll carry the CNMI for the next 10 years. You want to know what's happening? That's it. All right, so that's one of our things, one of the many things that we're going to be doing. We're also going to be going live for the CNMI's events in the mini games in Palau. Yes, we've got it all worked out with the folks from Palau, with the mini games organizing committee, and we're going to bring you live play-by-play for our events that we're going to be in. Now, if you're not going to we can't do every event every single time, but here's what we can do. For some of the events that won't be going live, or that might be going at the same time, we'll be able to give you, we'll have those on another screen that we can throw to and maybe do a little picture-in-picture and give you a little play-by-play about that. And we'll clip it. We will edit it and put it together so that you're going to be able to see it. What does this really mean? It means we're going to be some busy bees over here at the NMI News Service bringing all this stuff to you. You can see it on the side of the screen. They're getting ready to go, and we're getting ready to cover it. We can't wait. Ann Athow, my goodness, the queen of cat gifts. She is there again. Great to see you. Oh, man. Toba, talking about what's going on over there with the Middle East. He's like, I got my cesspool open and ready just in case we got to hunker down. Oh, man, that's not the place you want to go. If you're going up that creek without a paddle, you don't want to jump into the creek that's in your backyard. Eric David, buenas, all the way out there in Houston, Texas. Great to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Great to see you, my friend. Who else we got out there in the world watching? Yeah, YouTube's always a little bit choppy. Some days you're getting it better than others, but because we're broadcasting both at the same time. And over here, we're on Instagram. Keanu's saying that he went over to Guam for soccer with Kanoa, and they won. Congratulations. Great to see you, buddy. And stoked for you guys. Way to go, man. Kanoa's got a great football club. I'm telling you, we play against them all the time. Great organization, great volunteers, great players. There is a real great group going from there. Oh, that is great news. I don't know if you're watching. You just sent me this message. Can I tell people about this? I would love to. No, it says shh. I can't tell anybody about it. It's got the shh emoji on it. which means I can't say anything. Darn it, that's good news. All right, well, let's go through. Lou Aldon, hey, great to see you. Yeah, we miss you too. It's great to see. All right, thank you so much. We won't say anything until you get that formal response, but thanks so much for sending that to us. My mom is watching. Good morning, Mom. Great to see you. By the way, I'll tell you what, it's so awesome. Saipan, you guys, when I still bump into people, you're asking about how my dad is doing. And my dad, keep him in your prayers. He's got a big procedure that's happening tomorrow. I didn't get you guys all the updates about the latest, but he is back in the hospital. So we're waiting to see how this next round goes. Let's just say he has a lot going on. And he's been in the hospital again for about a week. He had to wait for one of the things to get squared away, which I think has been working. And I called him last night, and he's like, yeah, today's the day before the day, because tomorrow is a real big day for him. He's going to find out what the future of his mobility is going to be for the rest of his life. And hopefully everything goes great. So if you're the praying type, I would, and he would, and our family would appreciate some prayers for him. And if you don't believe in prayers, well, man, that's too bad. I'm sorry for you. It definitely, I believe in it, and it's a powerful thing to me. And I've seen it. I've experienced it. It works, man. I'll tell you. You don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you that I believe in it, and it is a wonderful thing. And the outpouring of the comments and all that has been absolutely wonderful. My dad, when I tell him that you guys have been asking about him and all that stuff, boy, you can't see his face when I'm talking to him on the phone, but you can hear his voice light up. He just can't get over it. I mean, just how wonderful it is. So, you guys, fingers crossed. You got to say a prayer. That's great. And Tobot, by the way, not Tobot. Sorry, Jose. When I saw him last week, he's like, "Hey, dude, I put your dad's name in the for the novenas and everything." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, you're over the top awesome." So, thank you. Love you guys. All right, let's keep looking at who else is with us today. We got people all over the place. Oh, Mom Tobot says hi to you. Oh, Louisa, you're going to Korea with the team? Oh, that'd be awesome. She says she's going to try to stream from Korea, and that would be awesome. The internet should be great over there. You'll have more than a stable connection. You are going to be outstanding. In fact, I could help you out with some stuff before you go. Let's message after the show to see if there's something I can help you out with some equipment and stuff like that. Could be pretty cool. Christo McConney, all the way out there in Tacoma, wasted away again in Tacomaville. And not only does he live in Tacoma, he drives a super cool Hilux, which is the pre-runner to the Tacoma. Right? So anyway, he's got a Tacoma in Tacoma. Gotta love it. Who else is out there? You guys are just awesome. Peeling, great to see you guys. Juan Hookhook, thank you so much. Great to see you this morning also. Man, I'll tell you what, that's true. Man, those prayers work. Carrot, great to see you over here on the NMI News Service side instead of the old YouTube side. Anyway, so we're trying it out again. So we've got you guys on YouTube and on Facebook. And over here, they don't get to hear all the music and the commercials and all that other stuff. But over here, we've got you guys on Instagram as well. Trying it out. Figure we give it a shot. I want to say, hey, I got the most ridiculously funny and stupid message from one of my friends. And I'll tell you, it is funny. Hold on, I got to save it first. And here, I got to show you this stuff. It's so dumb and so awesome that it's worth me showing to you. And it's not, if you're a football fan, I think you'll think it's funny. I think. But if you're not a football fan, maybe you won't. Guy Pudney, probably not going to think this is super funny. He's a football fan. Eric Larson, probably not going to find it very funny. Those are the only two Dallas Cowboys fans that I know. But everybody else, excuse me, everybody else who's a football fan might think it's a little funny. Here we go. And we're going to put this on the screen so you guys, oh man. So I got it on there. I just got to put it on the main. Sorry. Here, let's pop this over here. Image. And we just did it. So it's going to be right there. Boom. All right. So This is so dumb. This is a poster. It's a picture. It says, "Hey, Iran, this is the White House." And that's AT&T Stadium. That's the home of the Dallas Cowboys. And then even better is that there was a comment on that said, well, it'll probably get intercepted anyway. I know. Don't shame me because I laugh at these stupid things. But man, it is ridiculous. The other thing is, we can get all caught up on what's happening these days because right now, we talked a lot about it yesterday. The big attack on the nuclear facilities in Iran by the United States, sending over 7 B-2 stealth bombers to 3 different nuclear research facilities, and it was pretty massive. Each one of them carried a payload of 2 of those 30,000-pound bombs that are designed to penetrate underground before detonating and everything. Well, Iran finally said, we're not a big fan of that. And they started a counterattack. And they ended up going over to, and we'll share this with you, they started firing some missiles over to U.S. Assets over in Qatar. We've got military bases over there. Actually, wouldn't it really narrow it down just by saying that by talking about the places where we don't have military bases? Because I think we pretty much have military assets all over the place. Where's my share screen, by the way? There he is, share. Hold on just a moment. Yeah, this is footage from Qatar. Here, let's replay that. We got this from the folks over at... here we go. Yeah, so we have some bases over there in Qatar, and this is some footage. Now, from what we've seen for the replies or some of the comments about this, is that the U.S. Was able to shoot down just about everything. Somebody said, I was watching another feed today where someone said that they live there and they watched this stuff happen, and they said that everything got intercepted except for one that may have slipped through. Now, whether or not that slipped through or if it got hit by something else, see, that's the Patriots that are going up to hit these things, the Patriot missile batteries. And so there's a whole lot of stuff kicking off over there in the Middle East right now. It is just crazy to see that happen. Now, the only thing is, I'll tell you this, though, folks who are acting like, oh, how could they? I'm like, are you kidding? So we did it. I mean, we started that thing. Of course, they're going to be responding with that. And we should not be like, how dare they attack our stuff? No, dude, if we start something, somebody's going to reply with it for sure. And that was a reply all. So what else is going to happen? Is it going to continue to go, or what? What's going to happen next? That's, I guess, the big thing about it. You just can't expect that all of a sudden we're going to do this massive attack on Iran and Iran's not going to respond. So the question is, how do we respond to that? Because the president said that if Iran attacked on any of the U.S. facilities, that we're going to attack bigger and faster and easier than what we were able to do before. So the question is he going to be smart about it and not do anything? Or is he going to be smart about it and not do anything? Like, what's the real protocol here? I think it's a slippery slope, because if you end up going for it, I mean, it was a big deal to do it in the first place. But the other part is, if you don't do anything after you say you're going to do something, that's like, what are you supposed to expect? Now, hold on. Let me hit. Exactly. Chris Tomacani says, don't start something, won't be none. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? They said it was in a live press conference from the Pentagon. Yeah. Louisa says, man, I'm worried about food. I don't like Korean food. Gonna bring my Spam and Vienna sausage. That's about the Little League trip. That's not about all this stuff. Juan Nenden says, did they really use Guam as a decoy with the B-2 planes? Yeah, they basically said that they were going to send all these B-2 stealth bombers to Guam, but they did not. They sent like about 3 B-2 stealths to fly west to head toward, just to fly west. But they sent 7 from the mainland east all the way to the Middle East to do their damage. All right, so here we go. This was Donald Trump's post. Maybe you heard of him? Yeah, here we go. This is on J.D. Vance. By the way, this is weird stuff. Of course, some people, everyone's got a take on President Trump, I think it's probably safe to say, right? Is that fair to say that everyone's got a different take? So Donald Trump said, this was his post, "Congratulations, world, it's time for peace." I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know. But he also posted this. It says, "Iran has officially responded to our obliteration." Here, we put this on here for you. It says, "Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response." Should we speak it in this way? "With a very weak response, which we expected. And we have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and 1 was set free because it was headed to a non-threatening direction." Oh, my God. Anyway, it says, "I'm pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they have gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Boy, does that sound like an email? Doesn't that sound like a formal email that you would copy HR on just to make sure that you were covered? It's so weird. "Thank you for your attention to this matter." At the end of it, that's interesting stuff. I don't know. I don't think, if Iran is doing a counterattack to try to save face on some of these things, and then you tell everybody that they give you a heads up ahead of time, I don't know. I would say let them try to save a little face, I guess, and not call them out and say, yeah. You can go for it and say everything in there all the way up until and hardly any damage was done. Okay, so you're being kind of you're kind of being that guy. But it's like, most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system. I mean, it sounds like you're talking about like your neighbor's kid. After my kid went over and punched a neighbor's kid in the face, the neighbor's kid came over and punched my kid in the face. It's like, all right, I'm talking to their parents and saying, all right, I think the boys got it out of their system, right? They all took care of it. I think that's how I would say those kind of sentences together. Maybe not about these attacks. I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think that we're anywhere near done with this whole thing. I mean, of course, we would hope so. We'd hope that it would be, but I don't know. It certainly doesn't seem like it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's a video, which is from the U.S. Army WTF moments. I don't know if you've ever seen that group. It's funny, and there's a little bit of language involved. We're going to wait till it gets all the way here. We'll share this with you because I think it's pretty funny if that's really what the language is on here. Let's see. Hold on.
That's us. Hell yeah. That's us. Hell yeah. That's fuck yeah. Birds away. Oh wait, fuck. Look. Oh. Hey. Hey, splash, splash, splash! Fireball, bitch! Fireball! Hey, birds away! Suck on my red, white, and blue dick!
Jeez, that's our servicemen. No kidding. I'm telling you, man, that's how your boys talk. I'm telling you. Oh, you can hear there are women there too. Our men and women in uniform. We talk. We're stupid. I got to tell you, we're so dumb, and it's so funny to watch it. But yeah, that's from Qatar. My gosh, those guys. Hey, those are the guys protecting us from thousands of miles away. I'll tell you what, the way people talk when you're in the service has not changed in hundreds of years. I'm telling you, at least our 250 years. I think the Army maybe has had some upgrades in the bad words that we use, but other than that, a lot of it hasn't changed at all. Yeah, so like this one is so weird. Like this is the president's post on X, former Twitter. I mean, congratulations, world, it's time for peace. I mean, doesn't that seem like a little tone deaf? Like it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, And like some of this stuff, I don't think everything the president does is batshit. Sorry, but I mean, like that one definitely seems like it for me. Like, what are you thinking? Anyway, it just didn't make sense to me. But some of this stuff, again, is good. I'll tell you what, though, in Israel, they're pretty happy with what's been going down. Here's a video of downtown Tel Aviv where they have this up there in Israel right now. They definitely support the attack on Iran. But, that was... wow. I mean, I don't ever remember our country putting up something like that from somebody else's country. That's just an interesting thing to see. I know we're a big, we're a big ally. We're probably their biggest ally, and we're swinging the biggest stick for everybody of all their allies. And here's this is a cool video. Oh, geez. Sorry. The music's a little bit much on this one. I could do it without the music, but it's a cool video. This is a B-2 Spirits on their way back to the mainland, and it's a pretty impressive aircraft. I never got. I have seen one overhead, and it's cool. I would love it if we got one of those as a static display during one of these exercises so we can actually see it that close. Look, I mean, is this not the coolest thing? Yeah. I mean, it is awesome. I mean, whatever it is, this whole conflict aside, this is an amazing feat of engineering to make something like this. It just looks cool. Anyway, so that's that. That's the end of that one. But the music that goes with that video is kind of crazy. It's kind of loud for sure. Anyway, here's some more footage of the anti-aircraft going up. They're not anti-aircraft, but to shoot down the incoming volley from Iran over there in Doha or in Qatar. Here. This is footage, verified footage from on the ground. And we got plenty to talk about with all this stuff, too.
Allahu Akbar. Madam.
And you guys on Instagram, you can't see it because I can't show you guys the stuff on the screen, but if you're watching over on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook channel, you're able to see this stuff. This is the everything going back up against that incoming barrage. Anyway, there's a whole lot of this stuff happening. There's all kinds of footage coming out now from folks all over the place. And this is just what's happening in the world right now. And, we've received a bunch of messages from a bunch of you guys to talk about this stuff and saying, hey, does this make us a target over here in the Marianas? They mentioned Guam. And do you think Guam's a target because of this? I'm like, well, first of all, with regards to Iran, Iran doesn't have anything that can reach this far. The most powerful and the most long range ballistic missile they have is a 1,400 kilometer range. So that sucks for everybody in that range, but we're way outside of that. But does that make us a target for other folks? Well, first of all, CNMI, we're not a target. What about Guam? Oh yeah, Guam. Guam's got 3 military bases. Anywhere you've got a military base, you might as well just consider that as a target for, like, if there was something really big for somebody who's got intercontinental ballistic missiles or something. But that's not what these guys have, right? So if anything else kicked off, I mean, Guam's our biggest outpost in this part of the world. But you know, there's all kinds of other folks too. I mean, you got our bases in Japan, you got our bases in Korea, you got our base in Diego Garcia, which is really from the British. But we kind of co-locate with those guys. But we're all over the place. In fact, here, let's, just for real quick, map of U.S. bases. And you're going to see, excuse me, here's Base Nation is one. Excuse me, here's one from the Smithsonian. And let's go to Base Nation again, too. Because they're freaking everywhere. It's not like a small amount of U.S. bases. Here's Smithsonian Magazine's picture of this. And let's see. Put that on the screen. This is Smithsonian Magazine from 2019. And who knows how many more have popped up in the last 6 years. And this is only just in this region, right? This doesn't even show North America or South America. Well, it does show South America. But all those yellow ones are training assistants that says the U.S. military and or the State Department trained or assisted this country's security forces in counterterrorism. That's one. All the blue stars, U.S. military bases or lily pads, says this country hosted one or more U.S. military bases or smaller military outposts involved in counterterrorism activity. So that's just that. But there's other ones out here. We'll go to this Base Nation, and I wonder if I can click on it to get a little bit closer. Here you go. This one's, again, from Base Nation, and so U.S. bases with less than 25, maybe that's less than 25 personnel. U.S. small bases, and where the fleets are. I mean, just take a look at that. So when you're worried about us being a target or something, look at all those targets. You know, when you're thinking about all that stuff, there's so many, there's so much around the world. It blew me away when I went to the Gulf. I didn't realize we had that many people in the Gulf at the time that I went there. I just was totally blown away by our presence there. Yeah, I know, and we still have folks there. You're right, but that's kind of the state of everything. So this is what's going on in the world right now. And I wonder why they put the ships in those locations. Maybe because because we do have a presence in the Pacific. We've got folks in the Gulf area. We've got folks in the Med. South America is interesting that we got a fleet down there. But the Atlantic and the Pacific, of course, you know, we've got that. But off the West Coast and East Coast. But look at all these other places where we're creeping all over. Excuse me. And a lot closer. I wish they had a key on here for like distance so we could show you those things. Juan says, hopefully we don't get pulled into a global conflict. Diplomacy is important. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think the whole world is thinking about that right now because nobody wants... People might talk smack and like, oh, people, we got the toughest army, the most advanced and all this other stuff. Man, that doesn't mean you want to go around looking for it. Do you remember? I remember when I was a kid, and so you wouldn't remember when I was a kid, but I do. But I remember hearing about the build-up to the First World War in particular. And the First World War, and that everybody was getting into all this production, and there was a big arms race, and people were... basically, I still remember my history teacher saying that it just seemed like everyone was building up their military so much that they just want to use it. I mean, that's like once they got all that kind of power, it was like that was what they were going for. And it just didn't make any sense. And, you know, the other thing that was funny at that time, as funny as a similarity, is that people didn't think that there was a possibility that the world could go to war because economically the world was so interconnected. In World War I, we're talking over 100 years ago, 107 years ago. 111 years ago, sorry. 1914 is when it kicked off. So people thought that the chances of having a global conflict was very small back then because of how interconnected the world was economically. And all of a sudden, pow, it happened. And it blew everybody away. People were not expecting it. Anyhow, then after you have that craziness, where they built fake trees to use them as observation posts on the front lines. Yeah, they really did that. I mean, that was the technology back then. That about 30 years later, they'd be involved in another one. When Germany just decided that they would go to war, and who would be their enemy? The world. Thank you, Norm Macdonald. Anyway. And the world, you know, aside from some little things here and there, depending on how you look at it in your perspective, it's been pretty silent. It's been pretty quiet. Is this what we're creeping toward? Jeez. You know, you hope not. I definitely don't want to do that. You know, what are we going to be doing out here? Do we just get to sit back and watch how the world kind of goes crazy? I mean, there's nothing else we could do. I did see somebody posted something like, what's our plan? Someone said, what happens here? Would we just go into martial law? I'm like, I think we would take care of ourselves out here just fine. But, you know, we wouldn't descend into any craziness. The question is, what would happen if all of a sudden some bad guys came over? What would we do? Guaranteed, DPS is not going to be able to hold the Chinese at bay. The Chinese, or whoever it is. Like, you know, it's not like I know that they got some pretty sharp shooters over there, but the amount of folks who would come in, it's not like there would be an invasion. There's nothing to invade here. They could just sail up to the port and dock. Ambeth probably help them out. Or whoever. I mean, there's nothing. There's no resistance. There's nothing that would happen, and it would be like, holy crap, what are you gonna do? You know, the what ifs are crazy. So we're going to get red dawned. I know. I thought about that, but like, if we got red dawned, that would be crazy. Because what would you do if we got red dawned? And by that, I mean, really, that's like where all of a sudden, do you remember the 80s version of Red Dawn, which I think is the better one? Because at least they were pretty straight up about who the enemy was, right? They weren't just like, ooh, it's going to be North Korea. Come on. Pfft. North Korea has no offensive capabilities or something like that to project power beyond where they're at, right? I know that they can lob some missiles or something, but I mean, like, they wouldn't make an invasion this far away. So, like, they just were too timid to say that it was China because they didn't want to lose Chinese funding probably for their movies or something. Anyway, if all of a sudden we saw those parachutes coming out of the sky and we knew they weren't ours, what do you do? Because you know what they would end up doing eventually? Ooh, there was a book about Saipan being invaded. Is that one of those Dan Brown books or something? Or one of those, is it Dan Brown? Is that the guy who I'm talking about? I do have one of those books that talks about it. It's on a bookshelf, and I started reading it and probably fell asleep. I don't know if I read the whole thing. Maybe it's a Tom Clancy book. But I definitely read one about Saipan. Anyway, so what would you do? What would you do if that kind of stuff really legit happened? Because the way it worked in that movie is that, you know, a whole bunch of people from the town, you know, just kind of went along with it. The mayor was still the mayor. The people were still the people. But they rounded up a bunch of the guys, and they eventually killed them. I imagine if we ever got Red Dawned, I hope DPS has a protocol that they throw all the weapons ownership records into the shredder so that they don't start looking for us. Also, they're going to be looking for all the veterans and all those guys. So it's like, man, what do you just try to get as many of them as you can before you're gone? I don't want to be behind a fence until they get us to say, you need to say nice things about us or we will get you and your family. Oh. Now, I think you got to pew all the way. You might as well get a horse just so you can go out like the Lone Ranger. No, I'm telling you, there'd be no coordinated response for it. We'd be overwhelmed in no time. No. Does that mean we should get afraid of it? No. There's no plan. And that bothers me, by the way, when people are in Guam, they're like, is there a plan to evacuate the island? No. You're going to evacuate 160,000 people? The answer is no. When I had my military job here, it said in the contract, this tells you how important you are on the food chain, that this position did not include evacuating you away from wherever you are. It's nope, you're done. You're part of it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, at least I'll be here with all my friends, so that'll be cool. Juan says, how about we change all armies of the nations into sports teams and have them challenge on the field instead of killing each other, maybe one day in the future? Yeah, wouldn't you think that that's kind of what the Olympics were all about? And by the way, that's why I thought, the sports in the Olympics, the javelin throw, well, that was kind of a weapon, right? Just like baseball. Baseball is a sport where, you really want to throw a hand grenade. That's why you think you would do it. Even what's another thing? Archery, boom. A sport of war, right? Who can have the better target, the distance, all that kind of stuff? War stuff. Running, war stuff. Endurance and all that stuff. Wrestling, war stuff. Fitness. What are some of the other ones? Volleyball? Maybe not. That's why some of these sports, basketball, probably not. Hockey? Nope, probably not. Oh, I got a phone ringing. Hold on. We got one coming in right now. 1 second. Holidays on T Road. Thanks for calling the show. Who's this?
I'll call you back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Someone calling the show that's going to call us back. No problem. The funny thing is, on our business cards, we have the show line on there as one of the contact numbers for us. And maybe that they were not expecting to be on the show. They were just looking to call us. Anyway, let's go back to the Olympic stuff. So hockey, probably not one of those wartime Olympic sports that they came up with. Lugeing? Probably not. But how about biathlon? What's biathlon? Is it a bunch of people who go both ways? No. What it is, it's skiing and shooting. What a combination. So this is a winter Olympic sport, and you end up doing cross-country skiing, and then you shoot at targets. First of all, that's pretty badass as an activity. But number two, that it's an Olympic sport because it's a war thing. So you're basically showing off your warriors and your elite competitors and athletes who would be representing your country in a war or some kind of a conflict. What's another one? Swimming. Okay. Yeah, you'd have to swim to do all that stuff. They've got, let's get a list of Olympic sports. Flag football would not be one of them. Olympic sports list. Rowing, yeah, you got to do that. Track and field, yeah, that seems warish. Tennis, maybe not so much. Trampolining, maybe not so much, unless you're trying to trampoline over somebody's fortified walls. Soccer, maybe not. Here we go. Sprinting, flag football, lacrosse. No, but lacrosse is a badass sport that we should be doing here. Surfing, probably not. Tug of war? Yeah, that's just a show of strength. I got Laura in the background. She's like, yeah, it seems right. Skateboarding? Maybe not. Sport climbing? I guess, maybe, kind of. Diving? Weightlifting? Yes, show of strength, right? Modern pentathlon? That's a maybe. Rhythmic gymnastics? I'm going to say no. Croquet? No. Cross-country running? Sure. I mean, that's a whole thing about marathon. That's curling? No. Breaking? No. Especially not the way they do it in Australia. Fencing? Yeah. Sword fighting. That's what sword fighting is. Yes, that's war stuff. Alpine skiing? Maybe. Skeleton? No, but it's badass. Do you know what skeleton is? It's where they're on that little sled and they slide down that luge thing face first. They call it skeleton because you're going to break some bones in your skeleton, probably. Cross-country skiing, that's the endurance thing. Sailing, yes, that's a war thing, right? Badminton, no. Mountain biking, no. Gel de Palme, I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of it till just now. Artistic gymnastics, oh yeah, no. BMX racing, no. Rugby sevens, that's just your warriors going at it. Field hockey, I'm going to say no. Archery, yes. Canoe slalom, no. Bobsled, no. Judo, yes. Greco-Roman wrestling, yes. Marathon swimming, I guess, just because you're showing endurance and all that. Eventing, these are horse things. So I'll say maybe horse things, although not the prissy horse things. Not the ones where you're like, oh, the bridal was fantastic. No. But a lot of that stuff, that's what all that stuff's about. So maybe that's one. I think that's it. I mean, I think that's what the Olympics were probably trying to do. Show off your athletes like, oh, man, if we ever have to go to war with those guys, we know we're going to have to deal with Goliath over there. Maybe. All right. Hey, fun fact, I could talk for a while. We're going to take a real quick break. We're going to get you the latest updates from the Associated Press and some messages from our sponsors. Our news is brought to you, by the way, by the good folks over there at PHI Pharmacy, a Health Mart Pharmacy. They are fantastic. If you have a gym membership, did you know you get a 25% discount off of their products? Oh my gosh, this is true. So if you want to get all like jacked and ripped and all that other stuff when you're getting a gym membership, you're going to have to fuel your buddy somehow, and you're going to need supplements and all that other stuff. Well, PHI has you covered, and you get it for 25% off. We'll tell you more about that and more after this.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
launched a limited missile attack on a U.S. military base in Qatar today in retaliation for the weekend bombing of its nuclear sites. Qatar's military says it intercepted all but one of the 19 missiles. Iran said its volley matched the number of bombs dropped by U.S. forces. Ed Donahue has reaction in Washington.
President Trump said it was a very weak response, and the U.S. was warned by Iran in advance. On social media, the president said, most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. Comments from Iran indicate it wanted to de-escalate with the U.S. In the House, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries wants to know why the president did this without congressional authorization.
Not a scintilla of evidence to date has been presented that I have seen to justify the notion that there was an imminent threat to the United States of America.
The White House says lawmakers will be briefed on the Iran attacks. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The Supreme Court's allowing the Trump administration to restart removals of migrants to countries other than their homelands. And we're learning more about the gunman accused of opening fire at a Michigan church yesterday.
Police say Brian Anthony Browning was shot and killed by members of Cross Point Community Church Sunday after opening fire outside the building, wounding one. Pastor Brian Kelly says he met Browning when his mother brought him to church late last year.
He seemed to really have some thoughts that were not threatening or anything like that, but he definitely had some thoughts as far as hearing from God and all of those things.
The pastor says Browning and his mother were not regulars.
Not everyone knew her. I knew her. And I also knew the gunman as well, but I didn't know him well.
Police are searching for a motive. They say Browning did not have previous contact with local police or a criminal history and may have been suffering a mental health crisis. I'm Julie Walker.
This is AP News. Damian Troisi now with the AP Markets Report.
Stocks rallied on Wall Street and oil prices tumbled Monday. The S&P 500 rose 1%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.9%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.9%. Oil prices tumbled on hopes that Iran will not disrupt the global flow of crude, even with the United States' entry into its war with Israel. A barrel of benchmark U.S. oil fell more than 7% to $68.51 on Monday. It had briefly topped $78 Sunday night. Iran has the ability to block access to much of the world's oil, but it would also hurt its own economy by doing so. Treasury yields fell in the bond market. Damian Troisi, New York.
Sales of previously occupied homes edged higher last month, up 0.8% from April, but they slipped 0.7% compared with May of last year. Those figures from the National Association of Realtors. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
From the depths of waters where the coral kingdoms gleam, free noble fish now rise to claim the people's dream. With shimmering strength and spirit bold, they swim with rightful pride. Who will wear the coral crown and stand our ocean's guide? Oh, crown the state fish, let the ocean sing. The bonita, the boulder bang. Raise up your voices, let your spirit decide which island swimmer will reign with pride. From the Marianas, a choice shall be made, a symbol of our seas, forever displayed. Vote today. Vote today. From the depths of waters where the coral kingdoms gleam, free noble fish now rise to claim the people's dream. With shimmering strength, a spirit bold, they swim with rightful pride. Who will wear the coral crown and stand our ocean's guide? Oh, crown this
Okay. I know how dumb it is. Hey, by the way, you have until June 30th to vote for your state fish. Those are the three choices. You got the EE, the Bonita, and a Babang. Those are your three choices. And that's it. Go ahead. You can check them out right there on the... This song just kills me. It definitely is in my head. I can't get over it. There's too much of it. Oh, you are the best. Thank you so much. Laura is the best. When you're thinking about who is the best, just don't worry about anybody else. It's just Laura. Just brought me the coffee of justice over here. So anyway, that is it. The state fish. You don't get to pick any other fish. They picked these fish. These are your choices. And they had them like over 20 that were their finalists for state fish stuff. But this is the one that they went with, and they said charisma was part of it, and that is just crazy that there's charisma for fish. I love it. The idea that fish have riz, that's something. What kind of riz does your fish have? Anyway, good times. Good times. All right, guys, let's start getting into some of our local stuff, too, because we haven't really gotten into all the local headlines. And, boy, I'll tell you what, there was a trial at the end of last year that we covered with regards to all this drama at the courthouse between one of the a couple people who worked there. Someone was clerking for a judge, someone was working for the courts and everything. And what ended up happening is that there's a guy who worked there who was convicted of rape. And now he's getting a new trial. Yeah, that's happening. This is after, they had the special hearing because they got some new evidence. That's according to the defense attorneys. Said they've got some new evidence that wasn't available before, but it is now. So you've got one of our temporary judges, because everybody else conflicted out, Elise Iriarte, and she granted the request for a new trial, a whole new trial. Now, the question is, it's a guy who was convicted. Now he's getting a new trial. Does he stay in jail? Or now do they let him out until the new trial begins? So they're going to figure this out. They're going to have a status conference this week in a couple of days where they're going to determine the new dates for the trial and start talking about whether or not this guy should be released to a hotel under curfew. Oh, jeez. And also, does that make him a flight risk? This guy was posting earlier that he was looking to pay people to stay with them if they would agree to be his court-appointed overseer or or chaperone, if you will. No. You're going to be responsible for this guy. I say no for me, of course, but I mean no. And the reason is because the guy doesn't have any family out here, so sometimes they release people to their family. But he doesn't have any. He's like, so I'll pay you if you'll be my family, essentially, so that the courts will let me not stay in jail, but stay with you. But what kind of what are you taking on as a responsibility? Yikes. I mean, hey, cool if somebody wants it, but oh my gosh. I'd say pass. Anyway, so they might start this whole new trial either at the end of next month or middle of August, and that's going to be something. Yeah, there's new discovery, new evidence. Apparently, there were some conversations between the victim of the first case, of the first trial, and one of the coworkers. Not sure what that evidence is, but the judge said, hey, it was enough. And it says that they received a tip from another clerk who had some other evidence that she had about the victim. So, interesting. Man, I'll tell you what, that's wild. That's wild stuff. So, I don't know, what would you guys prefer? Would you prefer, I mean, if she just threw out the case, I mean, that's not an appeal. They're just asking for a new trial. So what does that really mean? Does that throw out his conviction? And are they starting from scratch? I think that's what that ends up doing. Logically, if you're getting a new trial, I think that's it. Whew. Yikes. It's a wild, wild world that we got here. There's a lot going on. This is something that we could do close to home. Franklin Mundo, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. By the way, dude, your photos and videos from Tinian are outstanding, man. I want to go to Tinian and just go hiking with you and go and see some of all that stuff, all those caves and the World War II sites and all that, because you got it down. You know where all that stuff is. I definitely want to see if I can't schedule a time to go over there and have you take us around a little bit. We'll shoot some photos, shoot some videos and all that stuff. And I know you do that to help out folks when they come over there. I'd love to be one of them because it looks really cool. I know I'll be able to see way more of Tinian than I've been able to see. So and hopefully that's something we can make happen. That would be great. JJ Semin in the house. Good to see you guys, too. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, so let's get into some other cool stuff. All right, so where are we at? All right, we're still good on time. We're still doing just fine. We'll do that stuff later. All right, so this is something that's happening, too. We knew this was starting. Judge Govendo sanctioned Assistant Attorney General Jim Bob Kingman, our friend of the show. He's been on the show. He's been in the studio, commenter, contributor, and it seemed like he was kind of getting the rough edge of the law, I guess. I mean, like he got a raw deal because not only did he get sanctioned, but he never had the chance to even defend himself. He never got presented with anything. He was never able to say, hey, what about this? And so now they're going through this. So according to the Attorney General's office, where they're fighting on his behalf, Robbie Glass, who's the chief solicitor, said the trial court failed to follow the precedents of this court in using its inherent powers to sanction AAG Kingman, as it failed to provide notice and a hearing, even though Kingman's actions were part of representing the Commonwealth in prosecuting alleged violations of Commonwealth law. And that the trial court abused its discretion in sanctioning Kingman by finding that he committed prosecutorial misconduct and violated that rule. And the trial court denied his due process and his rights by sanctioning him without a hearing and without developing a factual record. That's good stuff for him, I would think. He's actually able to get in there and have a say this time. Yeah. Oh, Rosalinda Zuzu. Let's find out. Let's get in there. I'm going to go and refresh the old X feed on this. She was saying that they've agreed to a ceasefire, Iran and the United States. That would be welcome news. We're refreshing the screen right now. Hey, Scott, thanks for watching the show and following us. Appreciate that. I have it set up in my calendar for today. It's going to be this afternoon to take the clip of the interview with you guys and your son from last night and send it over to you. And it's probably going to be too much to just like message you. I'm guessing the file is going to be too big. So I'll probably ask you for your email address. That way I can just gotta send it to you. What's going on? X.com. Come on. All right, hold on. Let me refresh the Associated Press. It says, live update 6 minutes ago, Trump says Israel and Iran agree to a complete and total ceasefire. That's breaking news, folks. That is breaking news. Hold on. I can actually pop this up here now. Where would my breaking news ticker, though, be? I see the color for it. Bam. I need a separate ticker just for the breaking news on that. Holy cow, that is a big news. 1 second. Breaking news. Yeah, we're going to put this out there, and we're going to get you guys all this info here in just a second. And this is something good for everybody. According to the president, a complete and total ceasefire. Okay, now I got to pop this on the old screen. Yeah, it's easier said than done, right? I know. I'm trying to get it done quickly for you guys so you can see it a little bit quicker. All right, boom. This is wonderful news as it's coming out here. So let's put this on here. I still got to make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so here we go. There, kapow. So there it is, and I'm sure that we're going to have an update on this here from the Associated Press. We're about 2 minutes away from hearing it. So here's the story from the AP. It says U.S. President Donald Trump said on social media Monday that Israel and Iran, and Monday for them is today for us, have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire to be phased in over 24 hours. The Israeli military declined to comment on Trump's statement. There was no immediate comment from Iran. The U.S. president said on Truth Social, that I am not on, that the ceasefire would bring an official end to war, a major change in the hostilities that follows a U.S. strike over the weekend on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. Earlier today, Iran, by the way, Laura, this is a good one to hit that one first. Thanks. By the way, Laura is outstanding over here in the background. You're going to be seeing some updates from her on our NMI News Service side about this in just a moment. Anyway, it says earlier today, Iran launched a missile attack on a U.S. military base in Qatar, retaliating for the American bombing of 3 key Iranian nuclear facilities. The U.S. said no casualties were reported. So they got that going for them, which is nice. Says Qatar response to the attack. So that's what we got right now. That's it. The ceasefire being announced. There's stuff come out from Vice President Vance, but that guy just strikes me like about as smart as Dan Quayle. That's a deep cut for you 80s fans. President said that the full ceasefire should begin at midnight. Okay, so these things just keep coming in right now. By the way, thank you so much while we're doing the show. Rosalinda Zuzu coming in clutch. This is why this news service and the show is all about you guys, too. You guys make this stuff happen and let us know about this stuff when we're doing the show, we can't see it. But there it is. Said President Donald Trump on Monday declared the 12-day war between Israel and Iran as likely ending in a ceasefire, validating the strategic gamble a devastating U.S. airstrike this weekend on 3 nuclear sites had. Is this him? Yeah, it says it's been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. It said the ceasefire would start with Iran and then joined by Israel 12 hours later. The phased ceasefire means the war could end as soon as Wednesday. President Trump said this is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. Okay. Well, that's great news. Gus, Les from Wemway, great to see you. It is time to hit the gym again. It was great seeing you there yesterday, and I'll be back in there again today, for sure. Juan Nenden says, they're going from bombing to a ceasefire cold turkey? I guess so. I guess they're done smoking. And that's the best way to quit. Because there was all kinds of other talks. I mean, one of the other stories that was going on says the president was floating regime change in Iran, which, by the way, sounds awful if you remember how great everything worked out in Iraq in 2003. Pretty smooth, and everything's all set, and nobody has any problems with it later, right? Yeah. No, that's not what happened. So this is welcome news. Boy, this is great news. It is wonderful. And couldn't be happier about that for now. Yeah, no kidding. And Tobot's like, so that's why you go to the NMI News Service, like and prescribe. Wow, that is great news. You're hearing it here first, folks. That is definitely, we're breaking news here in the Marianas. You're hearing it first from us. Now I'm just waiting to see, can we get it up on our, did I already add you on the news service? I didn't? You're kidding. Hold on, I'm going to do it right now. I accepted your friend request though, right? My goodness. We're going to go to the NMI News Service and add Laura as someone who's awesome. True story, because she is. Boom, 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 boom. I think it's under settings. I got to remember. One of these days, I'm going to remember this really easily. I don't think it was under page details. I forgot how to do it, and it's not from that either. Dang it. I wish I could just remember this. Well, you guys can laugh at me real quick. I'm going to find it really quick. Thank you, Google. Page access. Yeah, I know. I got to remember how to get to that spot. You think you know all this stuff. Click in your profile picture. Yeah, I know this stuff. Why is it? There it is. Because it's over on the other side. And, you know, I would love for it to be as easy as everything on the left side. But no, they make it all over the place. While you guys sit there and enjoy. There it is. Got it. And we're going to add you, Laura of Awesometon. I guess that would be your medieval name. Laura. Bam. Got to do this first. Okay. So I sent you an invite. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that is great news.